Hello, my friends. I'm just turning on my computer over here. I hope you're doing well on this Friday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining me. We've got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Well, I'm going to cover 5 shopping mistakes that are costing you money that you might be making without even realizing it. So, we're going to dive into those and let me know where you're from. This is your first time here. Thanks for joining me. And we do this very casually. If there's something you want to say, just put it in the comments. Oh, Chrysalis Collective, I've missed you all week. I'm so glad you're here. I was thinking about you today. Um, so I am glad you're here, but feel free to put comments in every couple minutes. I will check in and see if there's something that we need to discuss in the comments. I like it very free flowing. And let's dive in. So, I just want you to know that every one of these mistakes that I'm going to talk about, I have actually made. So, don't feel like you are left out in the cold whatsoever. I've done all these things. Sometimes these drive me crazy here, my shirts. Oh, we've got some hellos. Hi, Rita. Hi, Beth. My favorites are all popping on today. Great to see all of you. You guys have really made it nice to know. Like, I feel like I've gotten to know you over the past month, and it's nice seeing you show up. So, thank you so much. I feel like I've gotten to know so many of you with all the comments that you're putting in, and I really appreciate it. Oh, we've got, so sorry I got caught up with work, made too many mistakes over the years. And hello from Michelle. Okay, great to see everyone. And back to my mistakes. I've made all of them, but what really changed my behavior was when I realized what I was doing to make those mistakes. So that's what I want to dive into today. Um, I think how we shop as women is much, much different than how men shop. And we put a lot of emotion into our shopping. We shop when we're tired, we're bored, we're hungry, we need a little retail therapy, somebody's having a sale. There's all kinds of things that motivate us to go shop. And none of them are, hey, what do we actually need in our closet? Um, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. I am a retail therapy girl 100%. I love just going out, not knowing what I'm looking for, and finding a little gem, but it can lead to problems. So I just want to point that out. And the other thing is, we're not always clear headed when we're shopping like that. We make a lot of mistakes and don't always return them, but we do make a lot of mistakes when we're shopping that way. Um, let's see what else I have. Those are, yeah. So the big problem with that type of shopping is it fills your closet with pieces that don't actually make any sense in your wardrobe. They are discombobulated. They don't tell their own story. In fact, I was just talking to my daughter about this the other day because she needed to do some shopping and we were at the mall. And I used to love shopping at Anthropologie, and I think their things are absolutely gorgeous. However, when I was shopping their store, I felt like it was a full-time job to figure out what went with what. And it wasn't just like right now, I know that all of my shoes go with all of my shirts and pants, and they can mix and match. And when I was wearing some of their styles, it was always very discombobulated. I needed certain things to complete every single outfit. And I felt like I was always filling in the holes. And there's a lot of brands that are like that. So let me know if you've had that issue come up. And that happened to me about 20 years ago. I was shopping that brand when my daughter was little, and I loved their clothes, but I always felt very discombobulated when I got home because it was like, oh, this shirt looks great, but now I don't have the right pants or skirt to wear it with. And now I need to change the style of my shoes because it doesn't go with any of the genre of shoes that I have. So that is a problem I think we all share. Let's go in the comments because it sounds like it's going crazy over here. Let's see. Andrea said, Hi, Nancy. Andrea here from South Wales in Australia. Thank you for joining me. I've been watching you for a long time now and thought it was about time I let you know I was here. I am so glad you weren't quiet, and hugs to you all the way in Australia. Sabina said hello. I'm guessing it's Sabina, not Sabine. My when I took 4 years of German in high school, and I got to have a German name, and Sabina was my German name. So you hold a little place in my heart here. Gina Marie said hello, Nancy. Hi, Gina. So nice to see you. Rev Maggie. Hi, Nancy and everyone. Maggie from New Hampshire here. Good to see you. And Chrysalis Collected said, I think we all hope for way more than an outfit can provide. A chic outfit will not fix an unhappy time in our lives, will it? No, definitely not. And that's where retail therapy comes in, right? That's why we turn to retail therapy for that. And then it ends up not fixing the problem. So the first mistake that we make is we don't have a foundation. Um, and the problem is a lot of times you don't know what you need. And now that I look back on that Anthropology wardrobe, I didn't have the basics that I needed to build the foundation of that. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I talk about it so much, because that was such a struggling time in my life to get dressed, and I hated it. And now I don't have that problem because everything is really built on foundational pieces that mix and match and work together to create a wide variety of outfits. I never get tired of them. And when I bring new pieces in, I know that they're going to work with everything else that I have. Hello from Christine in Ohio. Hi, Christine. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, And the other problem is when you go shopping, you don't really have a plan. Every shopping trip is just a guess. So that adds to that. You're not buying the foundational pieces you need. You're just going out, picking a top, oh, here's a color I like. These pants are not bad. I'll get those. But you're not thinking through, okay, how many other pieces will this go with in my wardrobe? And how can I mix and match it? And does it even belong in my wardrobe? Because I see things I like all the time. And then I think, that's not really going to work with me. It just does not. I don't have the shoes to go with it. I'd have to buy new shoes. It's kind of like when you're dressing up for a special occasion and you have to go buy your dress. And then it's like, well, I don't have any shoes. So now I need the shoes. Now I need a new bag. Now I need accessories. Maybe I need a wrap. Maybe I need some new jewelry. And it turns into a whole thing. Well, I think a lot of us run into that problem when we're just buying regular outfits too, because we're not thinking through what the base is and building on that base. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments. Um, And that is the big problem with that is you end up with a full closet and nothing to wear. So if you have that problem, that is why you probably don't have a good base. The next mistake is buying on sale when it doesn't serve you. And I think, man, I've made a lot of shopping mistakes that way. Like for me, J. Jill was like my Achilles heel for a good sale. They have a great sale section, always have. It's like you go in, there's lots to look through. They're on a great deal. And I've bought so many pieces that just did not serve me over the long term because they really didn't fit in. I just was like, oh, that's a great deal. 25 bucks. Yes, I'll take that home. $30? Yeah, sure. Bring it. Who cares? It's just a little bit. But the problem is, then it's your problem to deal with when you get it home because it doesn't go with anything. You only bought it because it's a good deal. It doesn't fit with your style. Um, and then you end up like, well, I don't know what to do with it. I hate to get rid of it. I've only worn it once or twice. And you have all these guilt feelings that are weighing on you that really I don't want you to have because it doesn't do you any good to have those feelings. So I really avoid buying things on sale unless I was going to buy them anyway. And that brings me to a very good point I want to make. I have a uh, a cost per wear calculator, and I think this is really helpful. And by the way, It works, but I had one the other day that didn't work, but it is now fixed. So this is the cost per wear calculator. And all you do is you go in and you say, okay, I'm thinking of getting this shirt. How much do I think I'm going to how much did I pay for it? So let's say I paid $150 for it. We'll say it's a cashmere sweater because I wore those all winter. They're a little over 100. They're $120. And I'm going to say I wore that at least once a week for um, 3 months. So that's like 12 times. And I know that I'll have that thing for 2 or 3 years because I've had some now for 2 seasons. So I'm going to say 3 years. I think that's a very realistic number. It could even be more. I'm going on the low end here. And then you just hit calculate your cost per wear. So I'm going to say 12 times a year, 3 times a year. And guess what? It tells you that you ended up spending an average of $3.33 for that item. But let's say you had the same, you went and you got that sweater I was talking about, you bought it on sale and you spent $35 and you put that in the cost per wear calculator and it turns out that you only wore it once or twice. It's going to be much more expensive in the cost per wear than that $150 or $120 sweater. So think of it that way when you're buying your clothes. So that's a free tool on Shopping on Champagne. I don't know if I have it linked below, but I will make sure it's linked right away. It's under shoppingonchampagne.com under tools. There's lots of fun tools under there and more that will be coming. Okay, the third mistake, I've got my little notes here to stay on track. The third mistake is you don't ask any questions about the item before you buy. You love the store, you get it home, and you find out it goes with nothing. And I'm going to show you my other checklist that I tried to show you the other day. Oh, my should you buy it checklist. Okay. Whoops, it took me back to my calculator. So this is another tool that is free. It's on my website. It's called the Is It Worth Buying? Is It Worth Buying checklist. And it walks you through very simple questions. It's got 7 questions. The first one is, does this fit your actual life right now? So what I want you to do is if you just bookmark this page on your phone, when the problem comes up and you're shopping and you're like, I don't know, should I buy it? Shouldn't I? Oh, it's a good deal. Should I buy it? Go through and ask these questions. Does it fit your life right now? Yes, sort of. No, it's a different version of my life. So you're going to answer that. And the next question is, can you wear it with 3 or more things you already own? And if you notice, these are questions I'm going to ask you. I've been asking you all the time. So it's walking you through those same kind of things. It's almost like I'm the little angel on your shoulder saying, should you get this? Maybe. Let's see. This is a signature piece or a trend. That's another big question. If it's very trendy, you might want to question it. Does it fit your body as it is today? Does it need to be tailored? Are you saying, oh, you know what, I'm going to get this, and when I lose 5 pounds, then I'll be able to wear it? I'm going to say that's not a reason to buy it. The next question is it a color that actually works in your wardrobe? Do you love the color? Does it fit with other things? Do you have pieces that it can be worn with that color? I'm going to say yes. And is the quality worth the price? This is one I think is really going to spawn an idea, and it goes back to that cost per wear calculator. So I'm going to say, I'm not sure about the quality. And then would I buy it at full price? Because that gets us out of that sale shopping mode. And I'm going to say yes. So what it does, here it's telling me to leave it. Something's off here. You already know it. Trust that feeling. So it's based on your answers, and you can start it over immediately after that and just keep going with it. So give that tool a try and let me know what you think of it. Um, and what I like about it is it takes the emotion out of shopping, because I think we get so emotionally wrapped up in it. And you've got the salesperson saying, yes, it's gorgeous on you. You need it. And maybe you have a friend or somebody with you or relative that's like, oh, yeah, get it. No big deal. And you're still questioning it. Well, maybe you need that little push in the right direction to tell you whether you actually need it or not. Think of me as your little voice of reason so that it's not a mistake when you get it home. The other thing, which I know I've mentioned is a mistake, is we shop to fill an emotional gap. And man, I have done this so many times. So many times. What are you actually looking for when you shop? Because I know I've gone, I'm like, I just love to browse, see what's happening, see what the trends are. And then I end up, oh, maybe some of these trends are for me, and making mistakes when I shop. And I just want to talk about it because there's no shame in it. We all do it. There's nothing like going when you're feeling a little down, you go and you shop and feels great at the time. But make sure that you hold on to your receipt so that if you need to return it, you can. Because you might feel like, oh, why did I do that? What was I thinking? And it will help you get rid of that sadness or uh, emotional. It'll help take the emotion out of it that I think we put into it so much. Okay, the fifth mistake I think we all make, or many of us make, is chasing trends that were never really our style. And this time of year, I think here and in the fall, it's the strongest because we don't know what 2026 is going to look like. So they roll out what they call the color of the year. And do we need to jump onto Cloud Chaser? Do we all need to buy that color? I saw recently that this butter yellow is an in color. Well, it was an in color last year and I ditched it. I have no interest in it. And I will probably be doing the same thing with it this year. Just because somebody says it's an in color and that's what they're showing in all the stores doesn't mean you have to buy it. And there's enough other color choices out there that you can find something that you like in a color or style that you like. We've got a couple comments coming in here. Let me go do a check-in. Let's see. Michelle says mindless shopping. Yes, that is a big one. That is a problem. Andrea said, I have a terrible time online shopping, disastrous. In spite of sizing guides, I never get it right. Any tips? Well, having owned a yarn store and helping people with measurements, I have gotten very much into the guide of keeping a measuring tape, pulling it out when I need it, and measuring the garments that I really like. Like, okay, I love the boxy fit of this shirt. So what I'll do is I'll go measure it and make sure that the measurements on the website of what I'm thinking of buying are going to be very similar to the measurements of the garments that I like. That's a good place to start. And I like that, hey, they have return policies. So if it doesn't work, sometimes I'll buy two sizes when I'm debating and then know that the other size is going to go back. Um, and for me, when I'm working with brands, I always have to shop online. So I tend to size up to make sure that they're going to be a little bit more generous because I think it's easier to shrink something or make it tweak it a little bit so that it fits me as opposed to having it be too small and I can't do anything about it. So my rules are I size up, I order an extra one knowing I might return it, especially with pants. That can be a tricky one. And Yeah, that is the name of the game. And the more I buy from particular one or two particular brands, the more I know their sizing. Like I know I got all those shirts from Talbot's. There's only one in that lineup of those Talbot shirts that I had, those patterned shirts that didn't really fit me properly. It was too small. But all the rest, I know exactly the right size that I need from that particular brand. And I have a few that I know the brand sizing that I can effortlessly shop from. So I hope that helps. Let's see what else we've got here. Cost per wear. I do that with my walking shoes. I need to do that with my clothes. Okay, well, I've got the tool for you. So you can do that. And that makes a lot of sense um, to do that with walking shoes because they can be very expensive, but they're good for your feet. So I love that you do that. And that's Stephanie. Beth says, I noticed that I have been buying for a former career. You have taught me not to do that now. Thanks. Good. I am glad that you are not buying for that career anymore. Notice my hair's a little clumpy. Okay. Um, so yeah, buying for the life you have now. Beth, are you retired or are you in another career now? Let me know in the comments. All right, so let's see. The fifth mistake is chasing trends. We talked about that. Yeah, we've talked about pretty much everything on my little mistake list here. And that one brings me to the style refresh blueprint. So if you are struggling and you don't know what to do, I cover all of this. And I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but it is a great guide. It's only $49. For less than $50, it guides you 77 pages through all of these issues: cleaning out your closet, what to buy, how to bring things into your closet, into your wardrobe, how to figure out your style words, how to shop for your actual life, like Beth just said. And with each section, there are worksheets so that you can work through at your own pace. There's no rush. You can either do this on your phone or iPad, or you can print it off and have it in paper and walk yourself through it. But it's very handy. And my one-on-one consulting that's going to be kicking off on Monday is very similar in that I'm going to be asking you questions up front, but I'm going to have you send in photos and then take a look at it and have send back to you a customized video that will include all of the things that you need help with. And I'll be saying, okay, here's what you need to be working on. Here's and give you kind of a step-by-step guideline. So you'll get a printed version of that and you'll get the video that you can keep forever. So that is what's coming. But in the meantime, if you want the style refresh blueprint, it's it's the work I've put into it. But if you want more one-on-one consulting, that is coming on Monday. Any other questions or comments? Oh, Beth said, I currently a Lutheran pastor, but will be probably retiring at the end of this year or next. Ministry is a second career. I came from the banking industry. Oh, that's quite a change. And I bet when you're going into visits and homes, you probably have to have a little bit more casual lifestyle. You know, I know that when my father was sick and on hospice, his pastor came to see him a couple times, and it really meant a lot to us. She prayed with him and just spent a little time just being by his side. And it you need a different wardrobe for that than the banking industry for sure. So I'm sure that you can be more casual and more approachable in what you wear, Beth. Andrea asks, do you organize other parts of your home like you do your wardrobe? Do you regularly sort through other cupboards and do regular culling of them too? Well, when I moved here, my dad had not gotten rid of anything that was my mom's. It was as if she was still living here and she had passed away 7 years before him. And so when we moved here, it was me and my daughter, her boyfriend, and my husband. So not only did we have 4 people living in the house, but then we had the 2 other people that used to live here. So we were dealing with 6 people's stuff, and I feel like I am still clearing that out. Um, we got rid of a lot of their belongings that we knew we weren't going to use, like their clothes. We broke out the jewelry with my sisters and just took our time with a lot of that because some things I couldn't part with right in the beginning. And now, after 2 years of living with their stuff, there's some things that I'm like, I'm okay. I can part with it now. It's definitely a process. And my daughter and her boyfriend recently got an apartment and moved out. So now I'm doing it all again. And we still have a lot of our belongings that we moved back from California in our basement and in our garage that I've been like, okay, let's bring some of these things in. And it has been so refreshing because it feels like it's starting to turn into my house now. Um, Even thinking through, like, there's wallpaper on the walls that are, I mean, they put this wallpaper up like 40 years ago, 50 years ago when I was a kid. And so the house has always looked like that. And I'm like, okay, I just want to sit with it for a while before I decide what I'm going to do. So I have been doing that slowly. In fact, this room that we're in had little crayon scribble looking wallpaper all over it. And this was the first room that I did anything with. I'm like, my favorite color is green. I love being surrounded by greens and plants, and I'm going to make this room green. So this was the first room that I did, but it is definitely a process of going through. The other thing I struggled with was my daughter did not want me to get rid of anything. She wanted it to stay this dreamy home of her grandparents, and had so much nostalgia. It was like, you can't get rid of that. Well, one of the things when she moved out, I said, now, if you're not taking it with you, this is my house. I'm going to be getting rid of things. So it's been a lot more freeing to get rid of things, and I've been putting up curtains, and I digress. I could talk about this all day. I'm sure you don't want to hear the whole thing, but if you do have questions, my live Q&A is going to be on Monday. It'll be at 4 o'clock again. And we're going to be talking, it's an ask me anything. So I will talk about whatever you want to hear about. So I think I'm a pretty open book when it comes to sharing things like that. And feel free to ask those types of questions. Don't put them in the comments here though, because I won't be able to see them. Once I shut this off, I won't see these comments. So if you have questions for Monday, ask them in the comments after the live has been published. Let's see. Chili from Ottawa, Canada. Had to wear my down parka today. Well, I hope it turns for you soon. I know I just looked at the weather and we are supposed to have a week of rain. So it's just the time of year, isn't it? Thank you for that, Nancy. Since I'm here, I just wanted to say that in recent sad times for me, you've been a ray of sunshine in my life. You've been my go-to for cheeriness. So grateful to you. Thank you so much. That is one thing I really pride myself on, is trying to make this a happy place. Um, I have a funny story on that. When I did QVC years ago. I was on there as a vendor. I sold my crochet kits, and it was right after 9/11, and all of the vendors were wanting to be able to donate to QVC or to the 9/11 Foundation and help all of those families. And the QVC took a really strong standpoint on it and said, you know what? No, we are a respite for people. They can go to any other channel on the TV right now and find 9/11, the towers, all the war, all that going on right now. We are going to be a respite for them. There's no way we're going to be doing donations to funds or any of that. So stop with the questions about it right now. And it was a very poignant moment for me. And I thought, you know what? That is going to be exactly my stance, because I want to be a place for you to go There's a lot of craziness going on, and you can go to any channel and any other station. But you know what? Here at Shopping on Champagne, you will always find me in a cheerful mood talking about fun stuff like clothing, and you can escape from everyday drama for a while and just find a cozy place to chat and have fun. So thank you for that. That means a lot. And I'm so glad to hear that I helped you during that time. Chrysalis Collective said, "We love to hear about your life." Oh, thank you. I feel like I live a pretty boring life. So it's kind of funny to me. I'm like, well, I just showered an hour ago, was downstairs doing work, and my husband made me uh, a late breakfast. So not much going on in my day-to-day life. Um, you're right. We love hearing about the aspects of your life. You're provided, you're happy, sharing, of course. Yes. So, like I said, after this, ask me anything on Monday. That's what it's going to be all about. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've picked up so many tips since I found your channel a month ago. Well, I am so glad you discovered me, Gail. It's been great getting to know you as well. All of you. It's kind of like our online crew, live crew, that I look forward to seeing you and seeing what you have to say. So we're at 4:31, so I guess we should wrap things up. I don't want to hold up your weekend plans. I hope it's a good one. Thank you so much for joining me. Join me next Monday at 4 p.m. for our Ask Me Anything live. Stay gorgeous, and I'll see you then.